I challenge you to make $10,000 in the next 30 days. Yes, I'm speaking to you. And not in a year from now, not whenever you feel ready, right now. And before you start to list all of the reasons as to why you can't do it, I want you to pause for a moment and ask yourself, what if I actually tried? What if instead of telling myself it's impossible from the get-go, I actually gave it a try for 30 days and see what happens? No expectations. Because here's the truth. There's nothing special about the people making 10, 20, even $50,000 per month online. They don't have some secret advantage. They're not smarter than you. They're not more talented than you. The only difference is they took action consistently. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it step by step. No BS, no fluff. So by the end of this video, you will have a very clear step-by-step roadmap. That way, you can get started today. And honestly, if you stick to this process consistently, you will be shocked at what you can accomplish in only 30 days. My name is Fred, and I grew up in a lower middle class family. My parents are nurses and we often lacked money, which is why I always had the drive to work extremely hard and to become financially free. And after failing countless times and trying every business model online and listening to all of the bad advice given by the big gurus, I finally cracked the code. And no, I don't have a Rolex or a Ferrari, and I also don't live in Dubai, but I've been able to create my dream life and reach all of my goals so far. So to thank you for being with me on this journey, when we hit 30,000 subs, I'm going to be giving away $2,000. All you need to do is to watch the video until the end, subscribe, and share it with a friend to push it in the algorithm. First, why $10,000? Why not $20,000? Why not $1,000? Because $10,000 is a number that forces you to think differently. It's a big number for most people, but it's not so big it feels completely out of reach. And it's not too small, otherwise it wouldn't be motivating enough. Because if I challenged you to make $500 in 30 days, you would probably think of something low level, like reselling some of the stuff that you own, doing a gig in your free time, taking surveys, or just working more hours in your job. But to be able to make $10,000 in only 30 days, it forces you to shift your mindset, to look at things from a very different perspective, because you can't trade time for money and hit your goal. And one of the very first lessons I learned when I started to study wealthy and extremely successful people is that the rich doesn't work for money. Money works for the rich. Whereas the middle class and poor people are always chasing money, which is why you need to focus on creating high value offer, leveraging your skills, and that's how you create real income. And before you tell me, oh, but I don't have any skills, let me tell you, you absolutely do. Even if you don't realize it, you've got some knowledge, skill, or expertise that other people would be willing to pay you for. Just think about this. You've spent years in your life just being alive, just doing your own thing. You've learned many things during these years. You've been able to overcome challenges, solve problems, gain knowledge, develop an expertise, whether it's in fitness, productivity, work, finance, real estate, business, marketing, or even in dating and in your personal life. And there are tons of people out there who would love to have your knowledge if you just packaged it in the right way. And that's exactly what we're going to do in this challenge. I'm not going to tell you to do some weird business model based around a trend that's going to die in literally 2 to 5 months. We want to build something real, something that can ideally replace the income that you make with your day job and make you way more, allowing you to be financially free, doing exactly what you love. And considering the amount of time we spend at work, isn't that amazing? Which is why step number 1 is to create your high ticket offer. I'll be straight up with you. You cannot make $10,000 in 30 days starting from scratch by selling low ticket products. You just don't have time for that. Instead, you need to sell something which has a high impact and a high value, because that is what allows you to command a high ticket price. So here is exactly what you're going to do. You're going to pick one skill, one knowledge, or one area of expertise that you can turn into a skill or a coaching offer. It doesn't have to be something super complex, just something that you know well enough to help others to achieve a specific result. So to help you come up with your service or coaching offer, you can ask yourself the following questions. What do people already ask you for advice on? What's something that you've learned that has changed your life? What problems have you solved that other people are struggling with currently? Once you've identified this, you've been able to find the answer to these questions, you want to package your knowledge into a high-ticket consulting offer, because I can guarantee in your past you've dealt with one or multiple problems and you've been able to successfully conquer that problem, find a solution to it. And guess what? You're far from being the only person on planet Earth who dealt with this problem. There's literally hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions, even billions, depending the type of problem and the industry. So that's literally millions of people struggling with the same problem you've been able to fix in the past. So for example, if you're great with marketing, you could help small businesses or local businesses to get more customers through paid advertising. If you've been able to lose weight and to transform your health, you could coach others to do the same. I mean, the basics of weight loss are simple, but how come we've got an obesity epidemic? Because people need a coach. People usually need somebody to show them how it's done. It allows them to accelerate the process and to not have to spend months, even sometimes years, trying to figure it all out on their own. And if you're good at closing sales, for example, you could create a coaching package in which you help others to improve their sales skills. And you want to price your offer at a minimum of $1,000. Anything under $1,000 is not considered a high ticket price or a high ticket offer. So to hit your goal of making $10,000 in the next 30 days, you only need to get 10 customers at $1,000 or 5 customers at $2,000. You don't need hundreds of customers to pay you $12. You just need a handful of the right people. Because what I've seen after speaking to lots of people who had profitable businesses and people who wanted to start a business, is that oftentimes beginners think that it's easier to sell hundreds of low ticket products, so for example hundreds of $20 products, as opposed to selling a few people on a $1,000 product. But it's simply not true, because selling cheap products is actually much more difficult. Why? Because low ticket buyers are usually the most price sensitive, needy and skeptical. They ask more and more questions, they demand more and more out of you, and they don't want to pay more for it. Meanwhile, high ticket customers are very different. They understand the value of investing in themselves. They take action and they get better results because they're financially committed. And just think about the numbers. Would you rather chase down 500 people to sell them a $20 product, or just 5 people for a $2,000 offer? One strategy, the low ticket one, requires endless marketing, endless sales struggles and customer support issues. And on top of that, profit margins are much smaller. While the other method, high ticket services and coaching, allows you to get more profit, help more people and work with higher quality customers and scale your business incredibly fast. So if you want to get to 10K in only 30 days, there's no other way to do it than high ticket, unless you already have a crazy budget to spend on paid ads or a huge audience to market your products to. But for 99% of people, it's not the case. Otherwise, it would be too easy. The next step is to get very clear on the transformation that you provide to people. Because what I really want you to understand is that people do not pay for coaching, they pay for results, for a transformation. So what's the clear, tangible outcome you're going to help people to achieve? Instead of saying something like, I will help you with your fitness, you can say something like, I'm going to help you to lose 20 pounds in the next 90 days without having to spend hours in the gym or give up your favorite foods. That is a much better offer. It speaks directly to the pain points and desires of your ideal customers. I'll help you with fitness is incredibly broad and vague and nobody even knows what it means. Instead of saying, I will help you to improve your sales, you can say something like, I will teach you essential sales skills to get your first high ticket customer in only 30 days. Just make it crystal clear that working with you will help them to achieve what they want, because the clearer your offer is, the easier it is to sell. The third step is to start talking to potential customers immediately. And this is where most people mess everything up, because the truth is they get scared. Now we start to take action for real. It's not just a hypothetical business in your mind anymore. And so they waste weeks building websites, making a fancy logo, or even designing business cards. But all of that is just a distraction, because deep down you're scared and you don't want to put in the work. But everything that you want right now is on the other side of the boring or difficult or scary work you're avoiding. That's something I had to learn the hard way. Anytime you feel fear, embrace it. It's a good sign. You do not grow in your comfort zone, remember that. Fear is a sign you're getting closer to everything you've ever wanted. So for that reason, never let the fear stop you. So here's how you can start conversations with your ideal customers as quickly as possible. First, what we're going to do is that we're going to leverage your existing network. So make a list of 100 people, if possible, in your network. Friends, family members, colleagues, etc. And if these people could potentially benefit from what you have to offer, you want to send them a message. If you can't find these people in your network directly, you want to find these people directly on social media. So for example, go find a competitor, look inside of their followers and find all of these people, because they're leads, they're potential customers. And then you want to send them a direct message and explain what you're doing. For example, you could tell them, hey, I've seen that you want to improve your fitness. Could you tell me more about your goals, for example? Or if you're reaching out to a family member, a friend, or somebody from your network, you could tell them you're launching your consulting business and you want to help people achieve this. Do you know anyone who could be interested in this offer? But the real game changer, if you want to get customers and have extremely high profit margins, is to make content on social media. One of the best platforms to make content on is YouTube, and then the second best is Instagram. Now, if there's a platform you already have a small audience on, leverage it, because it's a powerful asset. It's an unfair advantage. And share what you do. Explain how you can help. Incite people to start conversations with you, because the goal is simple: to provide free, valuable content to your ideal customers and to book as many sales calls as possible. Because what I really want you to understand is that the more conversations you have, the faster you will get to $10,000 per month. Step number 4, selling your offer. And this is where fear really kicks in for most people. Most people get very uncomfortable when it's time to state their price. But here is something I want you to really remember. Not putting yourself out there, not selling, is not benefiting anyone, not even your potential customers, because there's people out there struggling with a problem you can help them to fix. They don't know how to do it on their own. Otherwise, they would have done it already. So if you let your fear hold you back, you're not just hurting yourself, you're hurting them too, because they need your help. And selling isn't about convincing people or manipulating people. It's about showing them how you can help them in a very clear way and giving them the opportunity to take things one step further and to commit and to transform their lives. So here is a simple framework you you can use to handle sales calls. First, you want to understand their problem. Ask them a series of questions to really understand what they've tried and why it hasn't worked out for them, what they're facing, why it's painful. And then you really want to understand what do they want. That's how you paint a very clear picture. And if you can clearly see they are a good fit for what you have to offer, you want to present your offer to them. And the goal is that you explain how it's going to help them to go from where they are to where they want to be. If you do it properly, technically speaking, there's no reason as to why they wouldn't move forward. And then the third step is if they ask you, most of the time people will ask you, but if they don't, you can tell them, are you okay with me sharing the price? And people will say yes. That's it. No pressure, just a simple, honest conversation. And it allows you to vet people and to pick and choose who you want to work with. That way, if you sense that somebody is going to turn out to be a nightmare customer or somebody who's going to bring a lot of trouble, you don't have to work with them. You can just refuse them access to your program. Now, step 5 is to stay focused and to take massive action. Because the biggest reason why people fail is because they don't take enough action. So if you're serious about this challenge, commit to it fully. Post at least one piece of content per day on the social media platform of your choosing. The two best are YouTube and Instagram. And then you want to start conversations with at least 40 to 60 people per day in the DMs. And the goal is to move all of these people, all of these leads, and even your viewers into people who book sales calls with you. And then you want to keep refining your message, tweak what you're doing, and improve based on the feedback you get from the market until it perfectly resonates and cash starts pouring in. So there is no magic formula in the end. It's about following the process, putting in the work, and being consistent. If you only do it for 1 day or 2 weeks, then you quit. Well, what do you expect? It's not magic, like I said. So now you've got everything you need to make this happen. But if you're serious about getting to 10K per month and you want to shortcut the learning process and to get a proven step-by-step process from someone who's been there and done that to help you, I've recorded a free video training in which I share with you step by step everything I did to make upwards of $1,200 per day with 95% profit margin in my high-ticket consulting business. I will leave the link in the description below, or you can also directly book a call with me or my team and we'll see if we can help you. But be quick because we've got limited spots and they always fill up extremely quickly. All of the links are in the description below. And with that said, I'll be waiting for you on the other side.